The galaxy knew humans as the odd species from a small blue planet. The Galactic Council avoided their star system for centuries. Their region was restricted. No alien civilization made official contact with them. But Mira, the youngest princess of the mighty Zaxian Empire, was fascinated by humans. Mira had golden skin with tiny scales that shimmered like stars in moonlight. Her eyes were large and completely violet with no whites or pupils. Her hair was silver and seemed to float around her head as if underwater. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, slender yet strong with long, elegant limbs. She was considered plain and unremarkable among her people, who valued great height and bulging muscles. The Zaxian royal palace stretched across an entire moon orbiting their homeworld. Its crystal towers reached toward the stars, glowing with internal light that changed colors with the mood of its inhabitants. Mira spent most of her time in the knowledge chambers accessing data about other species, particularly humans. Her father, Emperor Zax, ruled over 300 star systems. His word was absolute law. His decisions shaped the fate of billions. But even he answered to the Galactic Council, a gathering of the oldest and most powerful species in the known universe. The Council had concerns about humans. They were unpredictable, creative, dangerous. Earth had developed faster than expected. Humans went from primitive technology to space exploration in mere centuries, while other species took millennia. The Council feared humans might destabilize galactic peace if left unchecked. So they proposed integration, but with safeguards. Emperor Zax called Mira to the throne room. His massive form dwarfed his youngest daughter. He sat on a floating platform of pure energy. His scales were deep blue, almost black with age. His 7 eyes studied her carefully. "Mira, I have chosen you for an important diplomatic mission," he said. His voice rumbled like distant thunder. "You will marry a human." As part of our new alliance with Earth, Mira felt her inner eyelids flutter in surprise. Marriage to a human. She had studied them but never imagined being bound to one father. "Why me?" she asked. "I am the least important of your children." "Because you understand them better than anyone else in our empire," he replied. "And because the Council believes you are expendable if things go wrong." The truth hurt, but Mira appreciated his honesty. On Earth, Lisa Williams reviewed the diplomatic proposal again, unable to believe what she was reading. The alien empire wanted a marriage alliance. Ambassador Williams is the chosen representative. Read the translation. The Zaxian Empire offers the hand of Princess Mira. 7th child of Emperor Zax. Lisa had brown skin, short curly hair that framed her face, and warm brown eyes that missed nothing. She stood only 5'4", but carried herself with the confidence of someone used to being underestimated. She had worked for NASA 15 years before becoming an ambassador. She knew spacecraft and propulsion systems, not diplomatic marriages. She called her superior at the United Nations Secretary Kelly. "I think there has been a translation error. They want me to marry their princess." "There is no error." "Kelly," replied. Her voice sounded tired. "This comes from the highest levels. The President and Security Council have approved. The Zaxians have technology centuries beyond ours. Their protection could save us from threats we cannot imagine. This marriage is symbolic but necessary, but I never agreed to this." Lisa protested. "You became an ambassador to represent humanity," Kelly said. "This is what humanity needs from you now." Lisa felt trapped, but she understood duty. Her parents raised her to put service above self. Her country trained her to handle impossible situations. This was just another mission. The Zaxian royal starship arrived in Earth orbit a week later. It was enormous, shaped like a crescent moon. Its hull shimmered with colors that no human language had names for. Human scientists estimated it could destroy the planet with minimal effort. Lisa boarded a shuttle to meet her future wife. She wore her formal NASA uniform, unable to find appropriate wedding attire on such short notice. She carried a small bag with personal items, photographs of her family, her favorite books, and a plant from her garden. The journey to the starship took 30 minutes. Each minute her heart beat faster. When the shuttle docked, Lisa saw aliens for the first time in person. The Zaxian guards were massive, almost 9 feet tall. Their scales gleamed like polished metal. Their eyes watched her from faces that seemed incapable of expression. They guided her through corridors that adjusted their size. As she walked, the throne room appeared endless. Its ceiling showed the stars outside as if the room had no roof. Emperor. Zax loomed on his energy platform, surrounded by advisors and older royal children. All were larger, more impressive than the slender figure who waited at the foot of the throne. Princess Mira bowed to Lisa. Her silver hair drifted around her face. Her violet eyes seemed to look into Lisa and beyond. Her golden scales caught the starlight, making her glow. Lisa found herself speechless. The princess was beautiful in an alien, completely unexpected way. The marriage ceremony was brief. The emperor spoke words Lisa did not understand. A translator whispered meanings. A binding of houses. An alliance of worlds. A promise of protection and loyalty. Lisa repeated vows, feeling disconnected from reality. Mira spoke her parts in perfect English, surprising Lisa with her knowledge of human language. When the ceremony ended, Lisa was shown to her quarters. A large room with views of Earth, below comfortable but clearly designed for a different species. The bed was too large. The gravity felt slightly wrong. The air smelled of spices she could not name. This would be her home now. She was married to an alien princess. She represented humanity in the greatest diplomatic arrangement in history, and she had no idea what would happen next. The first weeks were awkward. Lisa stayed in her quarters while Mira remained in hers. They only met for formal dinners with other dignitaries. Their conversations remained polite and shallow. Lisa felt trapped in a gilded cage. Mira felt rejected, unable to bridge the gap between their species. The Zaxian ship continued to orbit Earth, a symbol of the new alliance but also a reminder of the power imbalance between the species. Human news channels showed pictures of the enormous vessel, the HFY. World watched and waited to see what would come of this arrangement. Lisa spent her days in communication with Earth governments, explaining Zaxian customs, translating technological discussions, negotiating trade agreements. Her diplomatic training served her well, but exhaustion grew with each passing day. She rarely saw her alien wife except at official functions. Mira observed humans through the ship's sensors, watching their cities, their movements, their interactions. She studied their art, music, literature, history. She wanted to understand these strange beings. Their emotions seemed so open, so raw compared to the controlled expressions of Zaxians. She wondered if Lisa would ever see her as more than a diplomatic necessity. One night, after a particularly tense meeting with Earth military leaders, Lisa heard strange sounds coming from Mira's quarters, a high musical tone unlike anything she had heard before. Concerned, she pressed the communication panel. "May I enter?" The door slid open, revealing Mira's private chambers. The room was filled with floating objects, books, data crystals, clothing, all suspended in midair, as if gravity had been selectively removed. Mira sat in the center. Silver tears floated upward from her eyes, catching the light like tiny stars. "Are you hurt?" Lisa asked, stepping carefully between the floating items. Mira looked up, startled. The object suddenly dropped to the floor. "I did not mean to disturb you," she said. Her voice sounded different, more melodic. Without the translation device she usually wore, Lisa moved closer. "I heard sounds. I was worried. Something seemed wrong. I was performing the ritual of reflection." Mira explained. "It helps process emotions. Zaxians do not cry as humans do. Our tears contain memory compounds. They must be properly released or they become toxic." She gestured at the fallen objects. "I lost control. I apologize. Don't apologize," Lisa said, sitting beside the princess. "What memories were you releasing?" Mira hesitated, then spoke. "I have failed my father, my empire, and now my new wife. All because I am not impressive enough, not beautiful enough by Zaxian standards to earn human respect." Lisa surprised Mira by laughing, then immediately apologized when she saw the princess flinch. "I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. You think you're not beautiful enough, Mira. By human standards, you are extraordinary. Your skin literally glows. Your eyes are like galaxies. Your movements are like watching water flow. It was Mira's turn to be surprised. You find me attractive, she asked. Lisa felt her cheeks warm. Very much so. In fact, that's part of why I've kept my distance. You're intimidating. I feel plain next to you. This revelation changed everything. They talked through the night. Lisa explained human concepts of beauty, the diversity of preferences, the importance of personality over physical appearance. Mira described Zaxian standards of attractiveness, size, strength, symmetry of scales, patterns of bioluminescence. Lisa learned she would be considered a child among Zaxians due to her height. Mira admitted she was seen as weak and underdeveloped by her people. They began spending more time together. Lisa taught Mira about human culture, music from different Earth regions, art from various historical periods, literature spanning centuries. Mira showed Lisa Zaxian technology, sciences that humans had yet to discover, philosophy that spanned millennia. Lisa learned that Zaxians communicated partially through pheromones, explaining their emotional distance. What seemed like coldness was actually a difference in communication systems. Mira learned humans relied heavily on facial expressions and voice tones, making them seem volatile and unpredictable to other species. One evening, Lisa found Mira in the observation deck, looking down at Earth. The planet glowed blue and green against the blackness of space. Beautiful, isn't it? Lisa said, standing beside her wife. Yes, Mira agreed, but confusing. Your people fight each other over invisible lines on the ground. You destroy natural resources, yet you create art that moves even alien hearts. You are contradictions. Aren't all sentient beings contradictions? Lisa asked. We just show ours more openly. Mira considered this. I wish to visit Earth, she said suddenly, to see it not just from orbit. Will you take me? The request required approval from both human and Zaxian authorities. Security concerns were raised, protests were organized by anti-alien groups, but eventually permission was granted. Lisa would take Princess Mira to her home in Arizona, a remote property with sufficient privacy and security. The day of their visit arrived. Mira wore an environment suit designed to look like human clothing. It regulated her body temperature and filtered the air. She was taller than most humans, but not so much as to cause alarm. Her silver hair was covered with a scarf, her violet eyes hidden behind special contacts that made them appear human with whites and pupils. They landed at a military base, then drove to Lisa's home. A small house surrounded by desert. Mira seemed fascinated by everything: the texture of sand, the smell of sage, the sound of wind, the heat of the sun, so different from her homeworld. She removed her glove to touch a cactus and immediately regretted it. Uch, she said, examining the tiny spines in her golden scales. Why would plants need such defenses to survive in a harsh environment? Lisa explained carefully, removing the spines with tweezers. Sometimes beauty and pain exist together. That night they sat outside watching the stars. Lisa pointed out constellations, explaining the human stories behind them. Mira showed her where Zaxian worlds would be visible if human eyes could see those frequencies they shared. A meal, Lisa eating human food, Mira consuming nutrient capsules from her suit. I understand why you love this planet, Mira said. The openness, the wildness. It is so different from my structured world. Do you miss home? Lisa asked. Parts of it, Mira admitted, but I am discovering new experiences here. She hesitated, then added, including feelings I did not know existed. Lisa felt something shift between them. The diplomatic arrangement, the political alliance seemed to fade. The two women from different worlds sat together under the stars. Something new was growing. Something neither government had planned for, something that might change everything. Months passed. Lisa and Mira grew closer. Their relationship evolved beyond diplomatic necessity into genuine friendship. They developed their own communication style, combining both species' strengths. Lisa learned to recognize subtle changes in Mira's bioluminescence patterns. Mira became adept at reading Lisa's facial expressions and body language. The Galactic Council watched their relationship with interest. Humans were still deemed unpredictable, dangerous, but this pairing showed promise. The bond between Lisa and Mira became the face of human-Zaxian relations. Other species began to reconsider their position on human isolation. Lisa taught Mira to dance. Moving together to the rhythm of music was strange to the princess. At first she felt awkward, her limbs too long, her movements too fluid compared to human dance styles. But Lisa was patient, showing her how to translate her natural grace into human forms. They practiced in Lisa's quarters, laughing at missteps, celebrating small victories. Mira taught Lisa to manipulate gravity fields, a basic skill for Zaxian children but revolutionary for humans. The princess created a safe environment where gravity could be adjusted. Lisa experienced the joy of floating weightless, the challenge of moving in double gravity, the disorientation of sideways gravity. She adapted quickly, impressing Mira with her resilience. They spent time on Earth whenever possible, visiting different regions, experiencing diverse cultures. Mira, particularly, loved the ocean. The vast water reminded her of the liquid nitrogen seas of her homeworld. She floated effortlessly on waves, her alien biology making her naturally buoyant. Lisa watched from the shore, smiling at her wife's childlike wonder. They also traveled to Zaxian colonies, stations, and outposts where Mira introduced Lisa to her people. Many Zaxians were curious about the small human, some were respectful, others dismissive. Lisa endured their scrutiny with diplomatic patience while Mira grew increasingly protective, defending her wife against any perceived insult. Their most significant challenge came during a state dinner on the royal ship. Emperor Zax invited Earth dignitaries to celebrate 6 months of the Alliance. Leaders from major nations attended along with scientific and military representatives. Lisa helped coordinate ensuring human customs were respected, while guiding the visitors through Zaxian protocols. During the meal, a human general made a comment about Zaxian reproductive practices, unaware his translation device was set to public broadcast rather than private inquiry. The emperor bristled visibly, his scales darkening with anger. The room temperature dropped as Zaxian guards moved closer to their ruler. Lisa recognized the danger. She quickly stood, addressing both the emperor and the general. With remarkable linguistic skill, she reframed the question as an opportunity for cultural exchange, explaining the general's scientific curiosity while acknowledging the private nature of the topic. She suggested establishing formal channels for such discussions, respecting all parties. Mira watched her wife navigate the potential diplomatic disaster with growing admiration. When the tension eased and conversations resumed, she found Lisa alone. "Your words prevented conflict," she said softly. "You understand both sides better than anyone." Lisa sighed. "I just didn't want everything we've built to collapse over a misunderstanding." That night in their now shared quarters, Mira hesitated, then spoke. "I've received a message from my father. He wishes me to return to the homeworld for the Festival of Ascension. It happens once every 50 years. All royal children must attend. Will you come with me?" she asked. It would mean several months away from Earth. "The journey is long even with our fastest ships. No human has ever visited the Zaxian homeworld." Lisa thought about her responsibilities, her commitments on Earth. Several months was a significant absence, but she also considered what this meant to Mira and to human Zaxian relations. This was an opportunity to see the heart of their civilization. "I would be honored," she said, finally. The journey took 3 weeks. Earth time. The royal ship traveled through folds in space, making the thousands of light years manageable. Lisa spent the time learning Zaxian language without translation devices. The sounds were difficult for human vocal cords, but she persisted, determined to show respect by speaking their language. On arrival, the Zaxian homeworld orbited a binary star system, one red, one blue, creating spectacular sunsets and complex seasons. The planet was larger than Earth, with stronger gravity and a denser atmosphere. Lisa wore an environment suit whenever. Outside the adjusted quarters prepared for her, the cityscapes were breathtaking. Crystal spires twisted into impossible shapes, buildings that seemed to grow rather than being constructed. Rivers of luminescent liquid flowing through urban centers. Myras, family compound, dominated an entire island. The other royal children welcomed Lisa with varying degrees of interest. Mira's oldest sibling, Crown Prince Zaxor, was particularly curious, asking thoughtful questions about Earth, seeking to understand human perspective. The empresses, all 7 of them, observed Lisa carefully. Their collective opinion would influence the emperor's decisions regarding future human relations. The Festival of Ascension was unlike anything Lisa had experienced. Massive creatures flew through the skies carrying performers who leapt between them in gravity, defying display's energy art. Painted the clouds with colors Lisa could barely perceive. Music that resonated in bones rather than ears. Zaxians from all colonies returned to celebrate their heritage, their unity, their future. During the height of the festival, Emperor Zax summoned Lisa to a private audience. Mira accompanied her, both women nervous about this unexpected meeting. The Emperor dismissed his guards, leaving the 3 of them alone in a chamber filled with living history artifacts that shifted and changed, as if remembering different forms. "I have watched you," Lisa Williams, the Emperor, said, his voice deeper on his homeworld. The translation device struggled to convey nuances. "You have surprised me. Humans are known for selfishness, for short-sighted thinking. But you have shown patience, understanding, adaptation qualities. We value." Lisa bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, I have simply tried to represent my species with honesty." The Emperor made a sound that might have been laughter. "My daughter has chosen well," he said. Mira looked startled. "Chosen?" Lisa asked, confused. "Among our people," the Emperor explained, "arranged marriages are only the beginning. They establish connection, but true bonding must be chosen freely. Mira has chosen to bond with you beyond political necessity. I see it in her bioluminescence patterns. Her scales shine differently in your presence." Lisa looked at Mira, who seemed embarrassed. "Father," she protested, "humans do not discuss such matters so directly." The Emperor ignored her. "I ask you now, Lisa Williams, have you also chosen? My daughter is young by our standards, only 200 of your years. She has much to learn, but she has a good heart. Her empathy for other species is rare among Zaxians." Lisa felt the weight of the moment, understanding its importance for both personal and diplomatic reasons. She looked at Mira, seeing beyond the alien features to the person she had come to know, admire, and "Yes, love, I have chosen," she said simply. The Emperor nodded, satisfied. The festival continued for 7 more days. Lisa and Mira participated in rituals. They shared meals with various family members. They watched spectacular displays of Zaxian arts and technologies. But something had changed between them. The acknowledgement of their chosen bond deepened their connection, transcending the arranged marriage that had brought them together. When they finally returned to the ship that would take them back to Earth, they entered their quarters to find it transformed. New furnishings blended human and Zaxian styles. The environment was calibrated perfectly for both species' comfort. A gift from the Emperor. The attached note explained, "For 2 who have chosen to build bridges between worlds." 1 year after their marriage, alarming news reached the Zaxian royal ship, the Voldar. A warlike species from the Outer Rim had attacked Earth's moon colony. 47 human colonists were dead, hundreds more injured. The small defense force had been overwhelmed, their weapons ineffective against Voldar technology. Lisa received the news while in a diplomatic meeting with Mira and representatives from 3 Earth nations. She excused herself, hands shaking, as she read the detailed report. The Voldar had never shown interest in the Sol system before. Why attack now, just as humans were establishing relations with the galactic community? Mira found her wife in their quarters, staring at images of the destruction. "Lisa, they targeted research facilities," she said, voice tight. "With deliberate precision, they knew exactly what to hit. The lunar defense grid never activated. They knew our codes." Mira frowned. This suggests infiltration or surveillance beyond Voldar capabilities. They are warriors, not spies, unless they had help. Lisa said, someone who didn't want humans advancing too quickly. Someone concerned about our alliance with the Zaxians. Mira considered this possibility. There are factions within the Galactic Council who opposed your integration, she admitted. Some believe humans should remain isolated until you evolve further. Others fear your adaptability, your creativity. We need to report this to your father, Lisa said. The alliance means Zaxian protection, doesn't it? Yes. Mira agreed. But the Imperial fleet is currently engaged in the Durelian sector, several days away at best. The Voldar may strike again before help arrives. Lisa paced the room thinking, the moon colony had minimal defenses. Earth itself had more substantial protection systems, but nothing that could repel a determined Voldar attack. If they launched a full invasion, Lisa's planet was defenseless against such advanced weaponry. She stopped suddenly, looking at Mira with growing excitement. What if we combined technologies? We have defensive systems, the orbital shield network, but it's designed to stop asteroids and primitive weapons. If we modified it with Zaxian principles, that would require sharing advanced technology with humans, Mira said hesitantly. The Council forbids such transfers to non-member species. This is an emergency, Lisa argued. Lives are at stake. Your father said the alliance means protection. This is that moment. Mira agreed to present the idea to Emperor Zax. They used a priority communication channel explaining the situation and Lisa's proposal. The Emperor's massive face filled the viewscreen. His expression unreadable by human standards, his response was immediate and negative. Too dangerous. He rumbled, we cannot share such technology. The potential for misuse is too great. Humans are resourceful but unpredictable. The fleet will arrive in 7 standard days. Earth must hold until then. Lisa stepped forward with unusual boldness. Your Majesty, forgive me, but in 7 days there may be nothing left to save. The Voldar are not known for their patience. If they want Earth, they will take it, unless we stop them now. The treaty between our worlds was meant to build trust. This is the moment to prove that trust goes both ways. The Emperor was silent, his 7 eyes blinking in sequence, a sign of deep thought. Mira moved to stand beside her wife, supporting her position. Father, she said, the human plan has merit. I will oversee the modifications personally, ensuring no restricted technologies are shared beyond what is necessary for this crisis, Emperor. Zax still hesitated. My advisors warn against this. The Council will demand explanations. Then let them demand. Lisa said, we will explain after we save my planet. Isn't that what leaders do? Make difficult choices when necessary. Finally, the Emperor nodded reluctantly. You have 3 days before the main Voldar fleet arrives. Our scouts have confirmed their movements. You may proceed with modifications, but Princess Mira, you are responsible for limiting technology transfer. Only what is absolutely required. Lisa immediately contacted Earth authorities, securing clearance for the project. Working with human engineers and Mira, they began the process of integrating Zaxian energy principles with Earth's orbital shield network. The work was challenging. Human technology was crude by galactic standards, but had unique characteristics that impressed even Mira. They worked without rest. Lisa, translating concepts between scientific teams. Mira, providing critical insights on energy focusing and pattern recognition. The shield generators were modified one by one, each enhancement increasing defensive capacity. The human engineers learned quickly, adapting their understanding to incorporate alien principles as they worked. Resistance emerged from both sides. Human military leaders worried about Zaxian control of their defenses. Zaxian technicians concerned about revealing too much to humans. Lisa and Mira navigated these tensions, maintaining focus on their shared goal. The night before the expected Voldar attack, Lisa stood in the observation room of the royal ship, looking down at her planet. The modified shield system was ready for activation, but untested. Would it be enough? Would her world survive the coming assault? Mira joined her, their hands finding each other in the dim light. "Whatever happens tomorrow," Lisa said, "I want you to know this partnership, our marriage, has meant more than any diplomatic arrangement I never expected. To find understanding with someone from another world." Mira squeezed her hand gently. "In the vastness of the galaxy, finding connection is rare. Most species exist in isolation, never truly comprehending others. You have taught me that differences can be bridges, not barriers." The Voldar fleet arrived exactly as predicted. 27 warships in attack formation. Their designs were angular, aggressive, with protruding weapon arrays. They took position around Earth, jamming communications, cutting off the planet from outside help. The lead ship transmitted a simple message: surrender or be destroyed. Lisa and Mira watched from the command center of the royal ship as Earth activated the modified shield network. Energy fields shimmered into existence, connecting the orbital platforms, human and Zaxian technologies working in harmony, creating a defensive barrier unlike anything seen before. The Voldar opened fire, their weapons far more powerful than anything humans had faced. Energy beams struck, the shields creating spectacular cascades of light. The barrier held, absorbing, redistributing the force. The Voldar increased power, pressing the attack, searching for weaknesses. The shields flickered in places, but remained intact for hours. The assault continued. Lisa monitored shield integrity, while Mira coordinated with the human engineers, making adjustments as needed. The combined teams worked seamlessly, human creativity paired with Zaxian precision. They reinforced weak points, redirected power, rerouted failing systems. The Voldar changed tactics, focusing all firepower on a single location, hoping to punch through. A section of shield began to fail. Energy readings became critical. Lisa made a decision, rerouting power from her own ship systems to support the failing shield. The risk was significant, leaving the royal vessel vulnerable but necessary. Just as the shields reached breaking point, a new signal appeared. Zaxian warships emerged from hyperspace. 7 Imperial dreadnoughts there, massive forms dwarfing even the Voldar fleet. They surrounded the attackers, weapons powered but not yet firing. Emperor Zax himself transmitted to all channels. "The Sol system is under Zaxian protection," he announced. "By order of the Galactic Council. Withdraw immediately or face Imperial judgment." The Voldar hesitated. Their ships regrouped, then slowly began retreating. One by one, they jumped to hyperspace, leaving Earth intact. The combined human-Zaxian shield had held long enough. The planet was saved. In the aftermath, celebrations erupted across Earth. The alliance with the Zaxian Empire now proven valuable beyond doubt. Human engineers studied the modified shield system, marveling at the possibilities it represented. The Galactic Council sent representatives to investigate the technology sharing but found no violations. The modifications were specific to the emergency, revealing no restricted knowledge. Emperor Zax, watching from orbit, realized what his youngest daughter had accomplished. She had bridged 2 species, created a powerful alliance through genuine connection, not just political arrangement. The human Lisa Williams had shown courage, wisdom, and loyalty qualities the Emperor valued above all others. He made a decision that would change the course of galactic politics. Humans would be granted provisional membership in the Galactic Council, effective immediately, with Princess Mira and Ambassador Williams serving as joint representatives. A new era of cooperation had begun. Forged in crisis, strengthened by trust, the galaxy would never be the same. 5 years passed. Earth flourished under Galactic Council membership. Humans spread throughout the solar system, establishing colonies on Mars, Europa, and Titan. Their technology advanced rapidly with guidance from allied species. The Zaxian Empire remained their strongest supporter, much to the surprise of older galactic civilizations. Lisa and Mira became legendary throughout known space, symbols of how different species could complement each other. Finding strength in diversity, they divided their time between Earth and various Zaxian worlds, building understanding between their peoples. Opening doors for other interspecies relationships, they established the Williams-Zax Cultural Exchange Program, bringing human artists, scientists, and philosophers to Zaxian worlds while Zaxian thinkers and creators visited Earth. The program expanded to include other species, creating new pathways for galactic cooperation. Lisa particularly enjoyed watching young humans experience alien worlds. For the first time, their wonder mirrored her own first encounters. Mira focused on technological adaptation, finding ways for human innovation to enhance Zaxian traditional approaches. She discovered humans excelled at finding unexpected applications. For established technologies, their creativity complemented Zaxian methodical precision. The results benefited both worlds. New medical treatments, enhanced communication systems, improved environmental management. They faced challenges. Some human factions resisted alien influence, fearing loss of identity. Some Zaxian traditionalists considered humans too primitive for true partnership. The Voldar remained a threat, conducting occasional raids on outlying colonies, requiring joint human-Zaxian defense forces. But with each challenge overcome, the alliance grew stronger. One evening, as they relaxed in their Earth home, a priority message arrived from the Zaxian homeworld. Emperor Zax had fallen ill. His condition was serious. All royal children were summoned. Lisa and Mira departed immediately, taking the fastest available ship. The journey that once took weeks now required only days, thanks to human modifications to Zaxian drive systems. They arrived to find the Imperial Palace in somber mood. The Emperor confined to his private chambers, attended by medical specialists from multiple species. Lisa was surprised to be included in the family gatherings, a sign of how completely she had been accepted into Zaxian royal circles. The Emperor's condition stabilized but did not improve. His age was advanced even by Zaxian standards, over 2,000 Earth years. Succession discussions began. Crown Prince Zaxor, as eldest, would take the throne. But other positions of power needed redistribution. The empire was vast, requiring multiple leaders to manage effectively. Many expected conflict. The Zaxian succession had historically involved power struggles between royal siblings. But years of working with humans had changed traditional patterns. Mira and her siblings demonstrated new approaches to leadership, emphasizing cooperation over competition. The Emperor, watching from his recovery chamber, approved of these changes. When Emperor Zax finally passed, the transition of power proceeded smoothly. Crown Prince Zaxor became Emperor Zaxor I. His siblings accepted specialized roles, managing different aspects of the empire. Mira surprised many by declining a traditional position. Instead, she requested appointment as permanent Zaxian ambassador to Earth, with her human wife as counterpart. The new emperor granted her request, recognizing the unique value of the human-Zaxian relationship. Mira and Lisa established a diplomatic compound that straddled both worlds, part Earth, architecture, part Zaxian design. It became a center for interspecies cooperation, a neutral ground where representatives from across the galaxy could meet. 10 years after their arranged marriage, Lisa and Mira stood on the observation deck of a new vessel, the Harmony, a joint human-Zaxian creation. The first of its kind, designed and built by both species together. It combined human intuitive interfaces with Zaxian energy efficiency, human adaptive thinking with Zaxian precise engineering. It represented the best of both worlds. From this vantage point, they watched a historic moment. The first human colony ship, designed for travel beyond the solar system, prepared for departure. Its destination, a planet in the Proxima Centauri system deemed suitable for human habitation. The ship carried 500 colonists, scientists, engineers, farmers, and artists. They would establish the first human presence in another star system. This would not have happened without you, Lisa said, watching the massive vessel power up its engines. You made the alliance work. You convinced your father to trust humans. Mira smiled, her violet eyes reflecting starlight. We made it work together. She corrected. Neither of us alone could have bridged such different worlds. It required both perspectives, both strengths. The colony ship activated its Zaxian-derived drive system. Light enveloped the vessel as it prepared to fold space. The humans watching from Earth sent messages of celebration and good wishes. The Zaxians performed traditional ceremonies for successful journeys. The ship disappeared in a flash of brilliance, beginning its short journey to humanity's first extrasolar home. Later that night, in their private quarters, Lisa found Mira recording memories in the traditional Zaxian way, silver tears collected in crystal vials preserving emotions and thoughts for future generations. "What are you saving?" she asked. Mira held up a vial that glowed with soft blue light. The memory of two strangers, from different worlds, who became friends, then partners. Then something no language, human or Zaxian, has proper words for. The beginning of something greater than either of us imagined. Lisa sat beside her wife, taking her hand. They had traveled so far from that awkward first meeting. The arranged marriage that neither wanted had evolved into a partnership that changed the galaxy. Their personal journey paralleled the larger story of human and Zaxian cooperation. Different but complementary, each making the other stronger. Together they explored countless worlds, built lasting peace. Showed the galaxy that differences could unite rather than divide, and they never forgot their unlikely beginning. How an arranged marriage between alien and human created something neither species could have achieved alone. The stars outside their window seemed brighter somehow, as if the universe itself approved of their path. More adventures awaited, more challenges to overcome, more opportunities to build bridges between worlds. But whatever came next, they would face it as they had faced everything since finding each other, together blending the best of both worlds, finding harmony and diversity. Their story was far from over. It was in many ways just beginning.